Okay, so hello everyone. So let's start with the next topic, that is a common emitter configuration. Okay, so in the last lecture we have gone through the common base configuration. So the next one is a common emitter configuration. Okay, so you can see that the emitter. Okay, so this emitter is connected to base also, and this emitter is connected to collector also, right? So that is why we can say that it is a common emitter configuration, right? So it is here up one, so it is an NPN transistor, so above one is N, middle one is P, and the downwards is again N, right? So let us go through one by one. So the voltage between B and E is a VB, this is a VC, this is the input side, this is the output side. So VB is the input voltage, IB is the input current, VC is the output voltage, and IC is the output current. Okay, so you can see the characteristic. Okay, again we will do the same thing. What we will do, we will take the constant voltage of VC, and we will see the relation between VB and IB, right? That means we will change the VB and we will take the different readings of IB, so we will get the relation between VB and IB. Okay, so since again it is nothing but a PN junction, right? So we will get the reading something like PN junction only, right? So you have, I hope you have remembered this cutoff region, right? This is a sorry, not cutoff region, knee voltage or cutoff voltage. So if you remember, base, we have seen in the construction of NPN transistor that base is lightly doped, right? Since base is a lightly doped, what will happen? Base have a very small current, right? So that is why you can see a base is always in microampere, right? So you can see here, right? Base is in a base is in microampere, base current. Okay. So this is the input characteristic. Let us see what is the output characteristic. So you can see here VC, okay, VC and IC. So it is a relation between VC and IC at constant IB, right? Base current will be a constant. What we will do, we will change the VB and make the IB constant, right? Once we will get the IB constant, we will start taking the readings, different readings for VC and IC. Okay, so you can see here, this is nothing but VC and IC. Again in the output characteristic, we will get three regions. That is, first one is the saturation region here, then is the active region, right? And last one is that is below there, we will get a cutoff region. Okay, so these are the different reading for the constant voltage of IB, right? That is, when IB is 10 ampere, we will get this reading. Then for 20, then for 30, this is like for different reading, we will get different uh, uh, re relationship between VC and IC. Okay, see this one. So again, this is again dynamic input resistance, then dynamic output resistance. So here in the input resistance, we have this input voltage, and this is the input current at constant VC, right? So see, Ri is nothing but del VB upon del IB at constant VC, right? So del means nothing but, as I told you earlier, it is a change in B voltage, right? It is not B voltage at that instant. It is a change in B voltage between the two interval. Okay. Dynamic output resistance. So see here, this is the output voltage. This is the output current. That is IC, E and VC, right? So therefore VC upon IC at constant IB, right? So you can see it, this is a constant IB, right? So at a constant IB. Next one is the current gain, right? So current gain is again nothing but the amplification factor, but here we are seeing for the amplification factor for common emitter configuration. Okay, so output current upon input current. So what is output current here? IC is the output current and IB is the input current, right? So IC upon IB is your amplification factor for common emitter region. Okay. Okay, now the next and the last one is the common collector configuration. Okay, so what will happen common collector? So we have, right, so just look at this diagram. Okay, what we have done, we have turned that transistor. So by turning the transistor, is gone upside and collector become towards downside. Okay, so see here, emitter is on upside and collector is on downside, and base as usual it will be the between emitter and collector. Okay, so the only difference is we have just turned that transistor, and collector now is made common to, okay, sorry, okay, so collector is nothing but common to base, and this collector is again common to emitter, so that is why it is a common collector configuration. Okay, there is a small voltage RE, E is for emitter, R is for resistance. Common collector configuration. So in this common collector configuration, we have again input characteristic. So you can see here in the input characteristic, we are getting voltage VB. Okay, so we have taken the relation between VBC and IB, right? So you can see here, it is the VBC and this is the IB at constant IE. Okay, so you say, sorry, at constant VCE or VEC. VEC and VCE are nothing but the same, right? Because C is nothing but the collector and emitter. So C is nothing but the voltage between the collector and emitter. So whether it is an emitter or collector, or it is a collector emitter, it doesn't make any difference. Okay. So if you will write VEC or VCE, the both is one and the same thing. Okay. So what will happen? We will take the reading of VEC at a 3 voltage, and we will take the relation between the VBC and IB. Then we will get this type of reading, straight line. Okay, that means IB will get increased rapidly. And in VEC again, when we will do the VEC 5 volt, we will again get some reading. So you can see in the characteristic we are getting the straight line, that is a rapid increase in the IB. That is and IB is again, I told you earlier, IB will be in a microampere. Okay. So this is output characteristic, right? So in the output characteristic we can see that VEC and IE, right? So VEC and IE at constant IB. Okay. Constant IB. So see, you can see here IB is all the constant here. Different readings. So this is the active region, this is a saturation region, and this is a cutoff region. So all these three characteristics are mostly same. So again, this is a dynamic input resistance. So that is a input voltage upon input current. So you can see here input voltage is a VBC, input current is IB, right? So input voltage, that is VBC upon IB. Then dynamic output resistance, that is VEC upon IE, VEC upon IE, right? Sorry, IE at constant IB. And current gain is nothing but the gamma here. So first one, for common base it is alpha, then common emitter it is for beta, and for common collector we are getting nothing but a gamma. Okay. So again, output voltage, output current upon input current. So what is output current here? I is the output current, right? So see, and what is the input current? IB is the input current. So what we are getting? IE upon IB, right? Now there is a one very important relation between alpha and beta. Okay. So we know what do you mean by alpha, right? So alpha is defined as the ratio of the collector current to the emitter current. See, this is the formula of alpha. And beta, for the beta we are getting this relation, that so we are getting this formula, IC upon IB, right? So depending on these two formulae and the relation between IC, IE and IB, we will derive the relation for alpha and beta, which is very important. Okay, so let us go. Okay, for an NPN transistor, IE is equal to IB plus IC. Okay, so in the working of NPN transistor, we have seen that IE is equal to IB plus IC. Okay, So let us divide each term by IC. So what we will get, IE upon IC, right? So it is the IE upon IC. So you can see this IE upon IC is equal to IB upon IC plus IC upon IC. So this IC will divide and we will get 1, right? And IB upon IC is nothing but 1 upon beta, okay? Because IC upon IB is beta, right? You can see here. Beta is nothing but IC upon IB. So IB upon IC is nothing but 1 upon beta. Similarly, IC upon IE, see here, IC upon IC is alpha. So IE upon IC is nothing but 1 upon alpha. So 1 upon alpha is equal to 1 upon beta plus 1. So when we will do the cross multiplication, we will get alpha is equal to beta upon 1 plus beta, or beta is equal to alpha upon 1 minus alpha. Okay, so this is very important relation between alpha and beta. So right, so just you have to remember this line and the definition of alpha and beta, right? If you know these three things, we can easily derive the relation between alpha and beta. Okay guys, so with this relation we have completed this chapter. Thank you very much. Take care.